Don, thanks so much for coming in and speaking with me today.
I'm glad to be here, Andy.
You and I have spoken at length over the past several weeks about your life and some of your stories, and I think viewers can go read a little bit more of that at the story I wrote in the paper, and they can also go find your public access show. So today I'd like to just narrow the focus a little bit more than what we've been talking about. Maybe if we can think of this as a time capsule for folks to come back and view some years down the road. In particular, I want to zero in a little bit on your how your perspective might have changed as you contemplate the end of life.
Well, because of the hit and run 1 year ago, I'm even more aware of how our lives can change in an instant, and that tomorrow is not guaranteed to anyone on earth, whether you're 7 years old, 27, 97, or 78, which I am. 6 years ago, this summer, I bought a plot at the San Jose de Armijo Cemetery on the west side, a beautiful dirt cemetery. I say, why waste water in a desert on dead bodies? And also, San Jose de Armijo, the graves are much cheaper than the big grass cemeteries. No vault, no liner required, as they require. I love to live simply, and I want to die simply. I built my own coffin out of half-inch plywood 6 years ago for about $60. And to me, it's an absolute crime that so many people in this country spend many thousands of dollars on funerals, coffins, flowers, when millions of desperately poor children all over the world sleep on the ground, hungry, sick. It's evil to waste money like that.
Something you and I have talked about before, Don, is your shift in views on what I think you told me before. You used to want a big funeral,
you're
right?
Right. You're right.
What shifted in that?
Well, I started to see I won't be there to enjoy it. So why a big funeral? Although I realize a funeral is for the living, but I love to have people at so many community events greet me warmly with hugs and on the street with honks and smiles and sometimes a sexy yell. And but I won't be there to enjoy it. So I prefer while I'm living. And so yeah.
You had mentioned earlier the hit and run. Some folks might already know you were hit by a car last May, just about exactly a year ago at this point. The driver fled the scene. Still don't know who it was, but can you share with us how you're recovering, how the last year of recovery has gone for you, and how you're feeling these days?
Well, I'm so glad to be alive. Many victims of hit and run are killed on the spot, and I'm so glad to be able to walk as well as I do, and to dance. 2 Sundays recently, I danced at community events. Not quite as freely as I used to, but I dance. And so I just hope that whoever it was, I don't know if the person was on meth or drunk or coming from a vicious family fight. I don't know if the person thought I was homeless because of my cart that I pull, and he said, oh, here's a loser, or he or she, I don't know the driver, man or woman, and or targeted me because of what I stand for and have stood for decades, as far as being openly gay and anti-war in this war-addicted city. I don't know. And I just hope that whoever it was someday changes to live a better life.
Physically speaking, how have you been recovering? Are you still moving around a lot? What?
Oh yes, yes. Many days I walk miles to go where I want to go. Before the hit and run, I had ridden in no car for 22 years. And since the hit and run, sometimes, especially immediately after coming home from the hospital, I have accepted rides in cars. But I mostly walk and take the city bus and pull my cart that has extra clothes or food. Like yesterday at El Super, I bought over 20 pounds of apples. I love apples. And I'm a raw foods vegan. Eat no meat, no dairy, no junk food, no booze, no processed foods, no, none of that. And some lessons from the hit and run. One is, for me, never, and for anybody, never to cross a busy the street wasn't busy except for I saw this driver coming fast way up yonder, and but never to take a chance on crossing a street. I was foolish, and I regret it, of course. And secondly, to forgive the driver, even though I don't know who it was, and to forgive myself for foolishly crossing. And thirdly, I'm so glad that I pursued health for many, many years before, and that has helped me make a good recovery. I'm not back to what I was, probably never will be, but maybe 80-85%.
Yeah, and you're walking without a walker now.
Oh yes. I do carry a cane with me, just in case of almost falling. I did fall some weeks ago, and 5 men stopped. One man who had his car took me home in the car, and and to anyone watching today, I love personal questions. I treasure heart-to-heart conversations, and if you see me wherever in town and you want to talk with me and you have the time, please do.
Given that your religious upbringing and you're shunning religion, where do you find that forgiveness to forgive the driver that hit you, or anybody in your life? Where do you find the power to forgive?
Thank you. Very good question. See, I'm so totally convinced that apart from the multitude of people who have taught me, who have loved me, who have inspired me, and put in the crucible of pressures and upbringings that so many people have, whether it be a Donald Trump or an Adolf Hitler, I could have done the same evil. And I'm so convinced of that. For example, Hitler had a terrible childhood. His father was extremely abusive. And then when crowds swallowed his racist lies and his hateful rhetoric, that just fanned the flames of his rage and his insanity. And the same, to some degree, with Trump. as I understand, in his early childhood, his mother was not there, and I think she had some kind of sickness. And so his father just pumped into him, worship money, worship power, do whatever you can get away with, no matter who you screw over. Well, and now, sadly, millions of people in this country swallow his, I just read the other day, he spoke over 30,000 lies during his 4 years in office. And so when many evangelicals and business people and fan the flames of his evil rantings, it just makes it worse.
Sort of to wrap things up, you've been in this city for
54 years ago next month.
Okay, so you've seen a lot of changes in the city. You've walked these streets many times.
Yep.
You've seen obviously issues with the police department,
Oh, yeah.
violence against in the hands of APD. You've seen plenty of addiction and homelessness.
That's right.
What is Don Schrader's prayer for the city to change, to be better?
Well, number one, I damn Sandia Weapons Lab and Kirtland Air Force Base, where daily, for decades, many people, and especially at Sandia Weapons Lab, highly educated people, spend their brains and their time, their careers, preparing mass murder for millions all over the world. You know, Gandhi said, when Gandhi was asked what worried him the most, he replied, the hardness of heart of the educated. And so true, so true. And so I wish that Albuquerque would be known not for the Auschwitz in the making on the southeast side, Sandia Weapons Lab, but for peace and standing against war. I have paid no federal income tax for 45 years. I refuse to pay for this government to murder millions, as it done in many, many nations under both Republican and Democrat president. I want also the homeless people to have, if they want a simple, small place to live, and we'll take care of it, to have a place. It's a crime against humanity, not just in Albuquerque, but across the country, that billions are spent on war preparations, billions sent to Israel to mass murder tens of thousands of Palestinians in Gaza, and not enough money to help the homeless. I mean, it's just insanity. And also, I would like Albuquerque to be known for sober living. New Mexico has the highest rate of deaths from booze of all 50 states, twice the national average. And I call upon community leaders, religious leaders, to take a public, to make a public promise, pledge, to drink no booze for the rest of their lives. I drink no booze, none, zero. Dear friends of mine whose lives were devastated by booze and cut short. It's just one of my closest friends, well, my closest friend now, his 42-year-old daughter is just a wreck from booze and emotional illness. I've seen it. It's just awful. And so I want Albuquerque to be seen as a place where immigrants remain welcome despite some action from city councilors, and where they really are appreciated as our sisters and brothers, many of them fleeing horrendous conditions in countries where the United States has been a villain. And so those are some of my deep desires.
Well, Don, I thank you so much for coming in. This has been a great talk, and I know you and I will keep these conversations going on the phone, and I'll come see you. And but yeah, thank you so much for coming in, and hopefully you'll gain some new followers when you're walking down the street, and they'll come ask you some personal questions.
Speak to me if you want to.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Andy, and the station.
Thanks.